Well, I think there's no better time to answer a question like this, especially because the economy is in a bad shape, not just in Africa, but the global economy as a whole. And simple economics will teach us that one of the major industries that is worst hit in a bad economy is the advertising sector, which incidentally is one of our major industries as voice over talents. There's this huge cut in advertising budgets. Brands are struggling to stay afloat. As we speak right now, adverts are not their priorities in times like this. Personally, there are telcos and some other brands that I do at least 3 to 4 views every single month. But for some months now, it's just been one or two. It's that bad. And not just for that, for a number of brands, for a number of voiceover talents, that is the story because of the state of the economy in Nigeria, in Africa, the global economy generally. So this is where playing on the global stage through freelancing platforms can come in handy. Now to the main question, for the best freelancing platforms, I don't think the conversation should be about the best freelancing platform. I think it should be about what works best for you as a voice of a talent. So from my experience, if you're sure you have your A game, platforms like Voices.com and Voice123 are good playing spots for you as a voice of a talent. So Voices.com, Voice123, great spots to play. The money on those platforms, fair, but the competition is really, really high. Professionals go there to look for gigs, and if you have to play on those platforms, you have to be at the top of your game. High level of competition. But if you're at the top of your game, great quality, you have a plan, you understand voice casting requirements, and you know how to convert auditions. Is it a 1 out of 10 auditions, 1 out of 20? You have all that plan, and over time you've been able to manage yourself through it. I hope to talk about that in detail in one of these episodes. If you do all of that, chances are that you will make some money there with a great return clients rate. That's the beauty of that platform. My second pick will be Upwork. Strangely, some 3 years ago, a platform like Upwork would have never been on my top 10 list. But here it is today. Such is life. We learn every day. Upwork is a crowded market with cheap deals almost everywhere. But there are also great opportunities in Upwork. All you need to do is learn how to find the premium gigs, and you have return clients over and over again. It's an amazing platform. Since I made my discoveries, it's like my number one choice right now. Going by the number of gigs I do there every day. Another reason I think Upwork is a great platform for professional voiceover talents is there are a lot of mediocre voiceover talents there. No disrespect, but there are a lot of mediocre voice talents who are also struggling to get jobs. So if you're averagely good as a voiceover talent, you can make a killing on Upwork. Trust me. I've seen opportunities there, and I'm working on sharing my experience doing voiceovers on that platform and see how that can benefit some professional voiceover talents who are trying to gradually move away from the traditional art space into the freelancing space. So that might help you when that comes out. And last but not the least will have to be Voquent. I've had a number of jobs on Voquent too. Not very active, but I think it's also a good platform. But you have to be at the top of your game too, because the way the platform works is it's different from some of these other platforms where you have to audition for jobs. This one, the voicing director will have to look out for certain jobs. So somebody needs to get a job done. The job is assigned to a director who looks out for voice samples that match what exactly they want. It's a bit more competitive somehow because it's not the average ear that's listening to your audition or the samples that you have. Professional ears are listening. So if you must play successfully on a platform like Voquent, you also have to bring in your very best, because every interaction you have with the casting directors, the professional interactions, they listen and it's not cool, they move on fast. If you've listened to this point and you know other platforms that can work or has worked for you in the past, do well to share to help other people grow in the business. We have to grow this industry. We have to do our best to grow the voiceover industry in Africa to that height, that height we're all aiming for. So on that, basically on all platforms, work is needed. I won't be surprised to find out that there's a platform that you're killing things on that I did not mention as my top 3 freelancing video platforms. It happens that way. But one thing I know about every video freelancing platform is that you have to keep putting out your best to strategically be in the faces of those looking for your talents. It's never easy, but a display of discipline, dedication, strong determination to succeed, and the right mindset, you too can win. The more you show up, the more you make those tweaks, the more you make the adjustments and try to find out what works, the higher your chances of achieving success on those platforms. So, if you want a voice to be heard, let it sound.